Hello, all you wonderful people of the internet, and welcome back to the Fernando Alonso career mode. Currently, he's got 84 World Championship points in the Renault. Lewis Hamilton still out in top with 326 points. Oh my goodness. Anyway, before we continue now, Fernando Alonso is going out in a classic Lotus car. Just look at it. Just look at the orgasm that we're all having just watching Fernando Alonso in an old Lotus, everyone. Just look at it. It's glorious. And we're at Bahrain, of course, with the floodlights dappling down on the absolutely superb man that is the legend of Fernando Alonso. Anyway, we move on now to the next round of the championship. We're in Mexico. I think it's round number 18 or 19, something like that. Anyway, let's have a look at our vehicle management, and oh my goodness gracious, bloody good God. Our engine is looking pretty knackered right now, pretty knackered. We've got serious wear to the internal combustion engine, so we've got to see if we can sort that out. But luckily, we now have 2,000 resource points, which means we can finally bolt some new bits onto our car. You can see that we're still third from last at the moment in the development table, and oh god, we've got rolling of regulation changes, which unfortunately means we can't bolt any new bits onto our car because we've got just 4 weeks to sort this out. Well, we are going to go for a durability upgrade to the ICE, yes, the internal combustion engine, because it is getting very, very high in the wear department. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to see if we can sort out these other parts that we've got to sort out for the regulation change, yes. So unfortunately, we're not going to have many points left to sort anything else out. So there you go. Anyway, there you go. We've got the ICE durability, so that's the start anyway. So hopefully we'll do a bit better.
Not long now until the lights go green for the Mexico Grand Prix qualifying. So let's get ready and see who has that pole position winning performance in them this afternoon. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that. And even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
So first run for Fernando. Maxi Boy Verstappen has currently got pole position with a 1:16.680. Yes, and at the moment, Fernando Alonso, well, he hasn't put a time in yet, so just about to see what happens as he crosses the line. Is it going to beat Maxi Boy? I don't think it is. He's a little bit slower, and he crosses the line at the moment, and it's 13th place, 1.5 seconds behind Maxi Boy Verstappen. Anyway, he continues on with just shy of 2 minutes left of the qualifying session. Oh my goodness, he's getting held up by Lance Stroll in the Racing Point, or the Force India, whatever you want to call it. I'm not quite sure in 2019. But let's see if he can improve on his time at the moment. I don't think he's going to, though. It's a little bit... Oh, he was half a second up there as he crossed the line. And yes, up into 8th position. Wowzers, he pulled that out of his trousers from nowhere. Anyway, that's the end of the session. It looks like he was in 9th at the moment. What time is he going to pull in as he crosses the line? Is it going to stay 9th? Is it going to stay 9th? Oh, shit. No, it's 13th position for Mexico.
The air may be thin here in Mexico City, the atmosphere is anything but. The crowd have been chanting and singing, not just this afternoon, but throughout the entire weekend. There's a great love for Formula One here, and no small amount of expectation. Let's hope today's Grand Prix can meet it. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right and the remaining 7 going to the left.
Anyway, let's look at the final grid order then. Pole position went to Max Verstappen. In second place, it's Lewis Hamilton. In third position, it's Laurent Grosjean. Fourth place for Lucas Weber. In fifth place, Sebastian Vettel. Sixth for Charles Leclerc. Seventh for Pierre Gasly. Eighth for Lando Norris. Ninth for Sergio Perez. 10th for Daniel Ricciardo. 11th for Fernando Alonso. 12th for Alexander Albon. 13th for Devon Butler. 14th for Valtteri Bottas. 15th for Lance Stroll. 16th for George Russell. 17th for Robert Kubica. 18th for Carlos Sainz. 19th... Oh, I've lost it now. It doesn't matter because the The grid is reforming. The grid is reforming. It will soon be time for us to say go, go, go. So Fernando Alonso is starting from 11th position because some other cars got penalties as we wait now for the 5 laps to go out on the Fernando Alonso clear mode. And we say go, go, go. And it's away he goes. He's got his sister Renault just off to the right-hand side. Daniel Ricciardo, of course. Now this is a very, very long straight at Mexico and they are going to be jostling for positions. Daniel Ricciardo's kicking up a lot of dust there. A lot of dust coming out the back of his cars. We go to turn 1 and Fernando Alonso goes for the inside line, I think. Oh, he gets a move on the Haas car. Did he get past? Oh, yes, he does. So past the Haas and past one of the McLarens. Oh, he almost sideswipes, or should I say swipes straight into the back end of Sebastian Vettel there in the Ferrari car. But it's okay, he's up into 7th place already. As we go into the next turn now, we have got Lemon Grosjean. Are we going to get past Lemon and the Ferraris? Oh, he's putting the moves, he's putting the manners on Sebastian Vettel, and he gets past. Yes, he gets past as Fernando Alonso, and now he goes for a dive down the inside of one of the Red Bulls, and he gets past, I think that was Romain Grosjean, so he's up into 5th position, just behind Charles Leclerc in the sister Ferrari. Wowzers. Wowzers, me trousers. Yes, so there you go. Another fantastic performance from Fernando Alonso, the legend himself, of course. Up into 5th position, and this is still the first lap as we go underneath the Fanatec side, and he goes for a move now on Charles Leclerc. Wowzers, pushes him almost off the circuit, but he still had I think at least 2 wheels on, and he sort of compromises his exit there, but he does manage to get past. Yes, up into 4th place now for Fernando Alonso. Next target is Lucas Weber. Yes, Lucas Weber, as we're about to complete lap 1, and Lewis Hamilton's putting a fastest lap because he is obviously in the lead of this race. So onwards and upwards we go to lap 2 now. Lap 2, just looking behind us now, we can see that Charles Leclerc is going for a move on Fernando Alonso, trying to sort of sneak around the inside of him, but he's going to have the line covered off. Oh no. Oh, that was really lucky there. No contact, but Charles Leclerc had to brake really, really hard there. You saw he locked up the brakes. There's a little bit of brake dust chucked up as well. So Fernando Alonso maintains his position at the moment. Yes, which I do believe is now 4th place. And he's still chasing hard on the car in front, which is the Alfa Romeo of Lucas Weber. Yes, Lucas Weber. Of course, team rivals in the F2 Championship at the start of his career, which seems like about 10 million years ago now. Yes, 10 million years ago when we started this career. Ah, dear. So we're just seeing him go through the very complicated chicane section here of this track at Mexico. Very, very complicated indeed. And once again, the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc is getting very, very leery. Very, very leery. Or should I say leery behind Fernando Alonso. But he maintains his composure and holds on to this position on lap 2. Just about to cross the line and start the 3rd lap of this Grand Prix. And it looks like he could be in for some good points. Well, I say that, of course, we've got the pit stops where Fernando seems to lose some time. But at the moment, he's looking good. In 4th place, just behind Lucas Weber. Well, I say just behind. Just look at the mini-map. You can see that he's quite a way behind at the moment in that Alfa Romeo. And Charles Leclerc is still hotly pursuing him. Directly behind in that Ferrari, of course. Yes, this is now lap 3 of the Grand Prix. And we're still holding on to this 4th position now. Yes, 4th position. Oh, I just turned over the radio. We've got a car off the circuit. And there it is. It's one of the McLarens. I think that may be Lando Norris. So we'll get to a replay in a minute to see exactly what happened to Lando. But yes, the McLaren driver is out of this Grand Prix. So let's go to a replay now. And you can see there's Lando Norris. Oh, and it's an engine failure. His engine has said, thank you very much. I've had enough of that. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I am done. So I don't see what Lando Norris is doing. He's still continuing. He's on the racing line, in fact. That's very, very dangerous, Lando. Pull over, Lando, pull over. Oh, he is now. He's pulling over. Well, that was not very good driving there from Lando Norris. Anyway, back to Fernando Alonso. As you can see, still the 3rd lap of the Grand Prix. He's still holding on to this 4th position. And the car behind now is Romain Grosjean. So I don't know quite what's happened to Charles Leclerc. Maybe he backed off a little bit too much during that yellow flag incident with Lando Norris. Anyway, Romain Grosjean is now the car behind Fernando Alonso, and Lucas Weber is still the car ahead in, of course, that Alfa Romeo. As we go through the gorgeous grandstand section, everyone is cheering on Fernando. Yes, they're going, Nando, as he clears lap 3 and just about to start lap 4 of this Grand Prix. As we accelerate forward now This is now lap 7 and he has managed to catch up to the back of Lucas Weber in that Alfa Romeo. So let's see if he manages to get past him. At the moment he's not got a chance in hell because we're going through this very, very tight stadium section, but he gets right up the gearbox of Lucas Weber there. Very, very close to the back of him. So now we're going to see if we get DRS, and yes, he has got DRS on Lucas Weber. So let's see if he can get past him. Okay, so he's lining him up now with the DRS, and Lucas Weber sort of fakes to the outside, but Fernando Alonso then goes to the outside line. Is he going to get past Lucas Weber? Yes, he climbs down the inside of him and steals that third place, which means that Fernando Alonso is now on the podium, everyone. Yes, the podium, and he's just behind Lewis Hamilton, who's in second place. Yes, second place for Lulu. Third place now for Fernando Alonso, and behind him is Lucas Weber in fourth position in, of course, that Alfa Romeo car. This is now lap 8 of the Grand Prix, so it's going to be soon time for him to come in for his pit stop, and unfortunately this is where he loses positions. Anyway, we accelerate forward now to just a little bit later into lap 8, and as you can see, just going past the pits, and there's another car come in, so I think that Alonso's going to get into second place now. Yes, second place. So that was one of the Red Bulls that have come in. So up into second place for Fernando Alonso. Lewis Hamilton still out in the lead at the moment. This is now lap 9 as we accelerate forward now to the end of lap 9, and it is indeed now time for Fernando Alonso to make his pit stop. Oh, Jesus, Fernando, that was a little bit leery coming into the pits there. He almost missed the pit lane speed limit line actually there, but he's managed to continue on, no problem at all. He rejoins now. We've changed from the super soft tyre onto the soft tyre, and he's currently in no 7th place. There's more cars going past those. We're just rejoining, and he's down now to 8th, 9th position now. Is he behind Robert Kubica in the Williams car? The answer to that is yes, he is. And Sebastian Vettel's behind him in 10th place in the Ferrari. Wowzers. Anyway, we accelerate forward now to still on lap 10. You can see he's managed to catch up to the back of Robert Kubica in the Williams, and he dives down the inside of him. Next target is Giovinazzi in, of course, that Toro Rosso, I do believe. Is it the Toro Rosso or is it the Red Bull? Of course, with all these driver changes, it's very, very difficult to keep up on where all the drivers have moved teams to. But I think that is the Toro Rosso. It looks like it anyway. Yeah, it's got a little bit of silver in the cowling there. So I think that is a Toro Rosso car. He's in 7th place. Anyway, we're about to go past Giovinazzi, if we can, of course, for Fernando Alonso. Gets very, very close to the back end gearbox as we go once again through the stadium section of the gorgeous Mexico circuit. Is he going to go? Oh, teammates in the pits though, and he gets right up the gearbox of Giovinazzi, and Giovinazzi comes into the pits, which is very, very good news for Fernando Alonso. There's a couple of other cars coming as well, so he's going to make it up now into 4th position. Yes, and there's Lucas Weber. There's Lucas Weber just come out of the pits, and he's got past him, so he's up now into 3rd place. Fantastic on lap 11. So a podium is on the cards for Fernando Alonso driving the Renault as we accelerate forward to lap 14, and Sebastian Vettel has just got past him in, of course, the DRS zone in that Ferrari car. But Fernando Alonso's not going to give up on this. He goes very, very tight to the rear gearbox of Sebastian Vettel, tries desperately to get past, but at the moment, no, he's actually dropping back a little bit. But I don't think Fernando's going to give up on this. He wants that podium. He wants that podium place once again. But at the moment, I think Weber, who is currently behind him, is concerned because Vettel, I think, is starting to pull away in front in 3rd position. Anyway, we accelerate forward, still on lap 14, and he's still after getting this podium away from Sebastian Vettel. Let's see if he manages to do so. At the moment, no, he can't. Going once again through this stadium section. Can he catch up to the back of Vettel? Well, he's not going to be able to do it here, but of course he could get a DRS run on him and get past and maybe steal this 3rd place once again away from Sebastian Vettel. So here we go. He looks like he's within the 1 second target. He is. He gets the DRS, and now he's going to power down this straight and see if he can get past Sebastian Vettel. Of course, Fernando Alonso will brake very, very late. And oh, look at this. He's faking a move, trying to block him off, but Fernando Alonso has got him covered as he goes to the inside, and yes, indeed, he gets the place away from him. So up into a podium now. 3rd place for Fernando Alonso on lap 15. Yes, lap 15. As we accelerate forward now to lap 16 of the Grand Prix, and once again, Sebastian Vettel under the DRS. He's going to get past Fernando Alonso. He's got no defence, of course, no defence at all against this DRS zone, but I think is he going to go tight? Oh, no, once again, Sebastian Vettel has got the run on him. And we've still got Lucas Weber right behind him, 5th place, looking very, very leery. But Fernando's going to have to pull out all his resources now to try and catch up to the back of Sebastian Vettel and indeed get past him again if he's going to get his podium. He's going to get his podium, but I think he may be okay. Yes, he's going to give it his all, as he always does. Of course, the legend that is Fernando Alonso. Unfortunately not in 2019, but we've addressed that, and now he is. He's back, everyone. Yes, he's back in F1 2019 as we accelerate forward now to lap 17. And once again, he's got the DRS on. Oh, Lewis Hamilton's out of the session. Oh my goodness, that was second place, wasn't it? There he is off to the right hand side. There's Lulu. So yes, now Fernando Alonso is going to go up into a podium anyway, but he wants that second place now from Sebastian Vettel. He goes very, very leery through this chicane section, but is he going to get the position away from Sebastian Vettel? He's very, very tight. He's once again got DRS on Sebastian Vettel. He's going to have to dive down the inside if he wants to get past him. Oh, he tried to block him off though, but he had him covered off and beautifully goes straight past Sebastian Vettel up into second place now on lap 17, second position. As we accelerate forward now to the last dying seconds of the Grand Prix at Mexico, you can see that all the lovely banners and everything that's being thrown out by the crowd is out. And Max Verstappen has won the race, and Fernando Alonso is going to cross the line in second place. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes, we're on the podium.
Well done, Fernando. Get in there. In the Renault, everyone. The Renault, yes. We will be sticking with Renault until the end of the season. Then we go to McLaren. And there is Christian Horner with the very, very dodgy haircut. Yes, I don't know who cut his hair, but I think he must have been blind, whoever he did it. Yes, because there's a huge, huge area missing out of his haircut. Huge area. I don't know what the hell's going on there. But anyway, there's Arava. There's Arava, everyone. Look at him. Look at him. Look. A bit of foreshadowing there, because once again, he hasn't got his glasses on. Wowzers. It's like Codemasters. They just got a time machine, a big DeLorean car, and just went back in time and actually did that like ages ago. And now fantasy has become reality. There you go.
They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race.
There's Maxi boy. First place for Max Verstappen. And there is, of course, Fernando Alonso, who got second place in the Renault. Go on, yes, spill that champagne everywhere. Go on. Well done. Well done indeed for Fernando Alonso. So let's go to the final scores on the doors and see where everyone finished. So in the driver's stand at the moment, Fernando Alonso has gone up into 6th place with 102 World Championship points. Lewis Hamilton, of course, still way out in the lead. And in the Constructors, we're in 7th position with 75 World Championship points. Okay, so it's time to move on. As I said earlier, we are going to stay with Renault for the rest of the season before we change to McLaren as we replicate the cars that Fernando drove for in the whole of his season. And anyway, we are now going to change up his helmet a little bit to make it look a little bit more Fernando-ish. Yes, as we move on to the next Grand Prix, which is USA. USA!
We're expecting qualifying to start any minute here in Austin, Texas, where drivers will be hoping to top the timesheets today and be ready for tomorrow's US Grand Prix.
So here we are at qualifying at the COTAS Circuit of the Americas. Yes, Hamilton's currently got pole position. Fernando Alonso does his first. Oh, bloody hell! 5th position already, just 6.57 seconds behind the leader, Lewis Hamilton. As we accelerate forward now to just 2 minutes left of qualifying, and he's currently still in 5th place and trying for a move and trying to get past his teammate there, who's in 20th. He crosses the line. He's up into 4th position now. 4th position for Fernando Alonso with just 2 minutes left to go. Anyway, so there it is. 4th position. He's just about to cross the line. And where is he going to finish as he crosses the line now? Is it going to be 4th? No, it's 5th, but that's still a fantastic performance. Well done.
In 2012, America's on-again, off-again love affair with Formula One finally seemed to settle down with the completion of this wonderful racing facility here in Texas. Since then, we've been treated to some incredible races, including, of course, that classic wet-dry championship decider of 2015. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas, overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track, and we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour.
So here are the runners and riders. First place for Lewis Hamilton, second place for Max Verstappen. In third position, it is Valtteri Bottas, fourth for Sebastian Vettel. In fifth place, it is Fernando Alonso, Roman Grosjean in sixth, Devon Butler in seventh, eighth for Pierre Gasly, ninth for Charles Leclerc, 10th for Lando Norris, 11th for Lucas Weber, 12th for Carlos Sainz, 13th for Alexander Albon, 14th for Sergio Perez, 15th for Kimi Raikkonen, 16th for... Oh, fuck you now. So we reform on the grid. We reform on the grid for Fernando Alonso. This is going to be well exciting. He is well up the front of the grid. And we will see where he ends up as we go past turn one. We will see where he ends up. And once again, it's time for the 5 lights to go out on the Fernando Alonso career mode. We say go, go, go. And it's away he goes. Ferrari to the left of us, Sebastian Vettel, Bottas, both the Mercedes, in fact, right in front of us. And Fernando Alonso is going to the inside line. Oh, this is going to be tight, very, very tight with the Red Bulls. But he slips down the inside of both the Red Bulls and goes up into the lead. He goes up into the lead. I don't believe it. He's got a warning for collision with Verstappen, but we don't worry about that because the most important thing as we go through this very, very complicated section of the COTA circuit is that Fernando Alonso is currently in the lead of this Grand Prix. Yes, on lap 1, Fernando Alonso leads in the Renault. Yes, in the Renault car. It's foreshadowing what actually happened in his career at Renault when, of course, he started very, very way down the field and gradually got better and better and better, and then, of course, became twice world champion. As we climb over this hill section, you can see visually how steep that hill is, as he's still got Maxi Boy Verstappen right up his derriere, trying desperately to figure out what exactly happened there from the start. We've got Roman Grosjean in the sister Red Bull in third position, but Fernando Alonso just had to jump on all of those cars and managed to get straight up into the lead. Yes, straight up into the lead. And now Hamilton is going to third place, so he's got past the Red Bull driver. Wowzers mid-trousers. Wowzers mid-trousers. But it doesn't matter for Fernando Alonso because he is still in the lead. But, of course, we've got to wonder, can he win this race? Can he win this race in the Renault? But, of course, there's not many races left before we go to McLaren. It will be absolutely glorious if we could get a win in the Renault, which will sort of ape... Oh, Fernando's put the fastest lap, of course he has because he's in the lead, but it would be great to just sort of ape his career at Renault if we can get at least one win, just one win. As we now look from the nose cam view, you can see the track really up close there, really up close, as we now once again fly underneath the Emirates sign. Underneath the Emirates sign we go. And you can see just how complicated this section of the COTA circuit is. You have to really, really pace yourself and get the timing just right for those apexes. Otherwise, you lose a huge amount of time going through that section. A huge amount of time. So this is now lap 2 for Fernando Alonso, and he's still in the lead of this Grand Prix. Second place for Verstappen, third place for Lewis Hamilton. Wowzers. Absolute wowzers. If we just look back now on Maxi Boy Verstappen, we've got this camera which is looking back from the engine cowl in a beautiful camera shot. You can see the Castrol sign on the side of Fernando Alonso's Renault car there. But at the moment, Verstappen cannot catch or even pass Fernando Alonso. Just looking at the mini screen, you can see they're hugely bunched up. In fact, the whole of the field is very, very tightly bunched together. Yes, but Fernando Alonso has got a little bit of a gap, I think, on the... Is it Verstappen now? No, Verstappen is right behind, but behind Verstappen, Hamilton, there's a huge gap between those two cars. I don't know what happened there. Maybe there's a little bit of a contretemps at the start, I don't know. But anyway, that's all good news for Fernando Alonso if he can hold on to this first place. We're just about to start the third lap of this Grand Prix now. Yes, lap 3. And Max Verstappen now has put in the fastest lap. This is not good news for Fernando Alonso. Of course, that car is a lot faster than this Renault, so he's really, really got to use all of his resources if he can hold on to this third place on lap 3 now. And Maxi Boy Verstappen is not going to have any of it, and he's going to try and get past and steal this first place away from Fernando Alonso. As you can just see the big wheel there off to the left hand side. The helicopters are taking their camera shots of this circuit as the cars are going round now. The cars are going round, and Fernando Alonso is still holding on to this first place, but Maxi Boy Verstappen is now getting very, very close to the gearbox of Fernando Alonso. Of course, this is now DRS on lap 3, and there's the DRS zone, which means Max Verstappen is going to have an opportunity to try and get past Fernando Alonso and steal this first place away from him. But is he going to be able to do so? I'm not quite sure. He goes down the inside of Fernando Alonso, but is he going to have the line covered off? Yes, Fernando Alonso had the line covered off beautifully there and holds on to this first position. That's really about the only opportunity on this circuit for you to pass on. There's a few other places you can sort of go for a dive bomb, but the actual natural passing place on that DRS zone is basically it on the Kota circuit. So Fernando Alonso holds on for another few corners in this first position. Yes, first place for Fernando Alonso. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And we just come around the final corner now, and we're just about to start lap 4, and Fernando Alonso is still, I have to keep saying it because I have to keep pinching myself because I don't actually quite believe it, but yes, it's true. Fernando Alonso is still in the lead of this Grand Prix as we accelerate forward out of lap 6 of the Grand Prix. It's time for Fernando now to come in for his pit stop. He was in the lead, but of course he's going to lose that now as other cars are going to go past. So we change from the super soft tyre onto the hard tyre, which is the soft tyre. Fernando Alonso's already done a 4th place. Let's have a nice fast pit stop from the lads. Come on, lads. Yes. It was, well, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. 2.1 seconds. 2.1 seconds. Oh, imagine them doing a 2.1 second pit stop in like 1997. That would have been great, wouldn't it? Absolutely great. But of course not possible. Not possible. Especially with refueling and stuff like that. Anyway, so he rejoins in 14th position behind Sergio Perez in the Racing Point on lap 7. Now, is he going to get back into the points? As we accelerate forward now, still on lap 7, and he's managed to catch up to the cars in front. That's Alexander Albon and Sergio Perez, which are having a right ding-dong battle, and he dives down the inside of both of them. Oh, contact though, contact with the Racing Point. But he manages to hold on okay, up into 12th position now for Fernando Alonso. Next target is Kimi Raikkonen, and of course the Alfa Romeo. Yes, the Alfa Romeo. So let's see if he can get past Raikkonen and get up into 11th place. He's still outside the World Championship points at the moment, but hopefully more cars are going to come into the pits. I'm just looking at the mini-map, and yes, more cars have come in, and one of those is Raikkonen. He comes in as well, so we're going to get back into the points whatever happens now as we cross the line. But are we going to get back into the lead? This is the big question. Teammates in as well. Up into 7th, 6th position now. 6th position for Fernando Alonso as he starts lap 8. Sergio Perez behind in 7th place, and Lucas Weber, his team rival, of course, now in 5th position as we accelerate forward now. Still on lap 8. He's managed to catch to the back of Grosjean, and Grosjean goes to the left-hand side to come into the pits. Weber's coming as well. So what is going to happen here? Is Fernando Alonso going to pass all these cars? He's on the fastest lap as well. Wowzers, mid-trousers. And yes, he goes back into the lead on lap 9. I don't believe it. Usually he loses out places in this pit stop, but this has worked out beautifully for Fernando Alonso, and on lap 9 he goes back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Fantastic. As we accelerate forward down to lap 14. Nothing really has happened in the Grand Prix apart from the fact that Fernando Alonso has managed to maintain his lead in this race, and it looks like he is going to win in the Renault. In the Renault, everyone. I just can't contain my excitement. I really can't. As we fly once again underneath the Emirates sign, and it looks like Fernando Alonso is going to take a win at Renault. Oh, be very, very careful going for that section. Of course, if you get too high on those curbs, they will spin you out like a top. But at the moment, oh, we've got yellow flag. I don't know what's going to happen. What is going to happen here? I don't quite know. There's a car. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this is now the last dying seconds of this Grand Prix, and you can see that Fernando Alonso is holding on to first position. Yes, first position now. As once again we go past sort of the back end of the big wheel. There it is. I bet it's a glorious sight. Look at the cars go past if you're on top of that. Yes, absolutely glorious. So, it looks like Fernando Alonso in the Renault is going to win this Grand Prix in a very, very underperforming Renault. It has to be said. He's just third away from the bottom in the performance of this car, but he's managed to pull a rabbit out of his hat and get up into the lead of this race, and I think he is going to win it because the car behind is not putting much pressure on him. It's Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari, and there's a little bit of a gap in fact. So yes, indeedy, Mr. McGreedy, Fernando Alonso is going to cross the line in second place, in the lead I should say, as he crosses the line. I was getting too excited with Sebastian Vettel there. Yes, so there he goes, first place for Fernando Alonso. Fantastic indeed. Wowzers, mid-trousers. And there is Cyril Albert, I can't bloody say his name. Who the hell can? doesn't matter because his driver has won. It's Fernando Alonso. Just look at the new helmet design, everyone. Just look at it. Look, it's getting very, very close now to his Renault years in 2005 and 2006 when he won the championship. Yes, I'm trying to replicate it as best as I can. Obviously, I've only got the tools I can work with. Yes, because I am not paying for special liveries from Codemasters. You can go.
As today's winners made their way up the podium steps, the team at Renault
anyway, there he is, Fernando Alonso on the top step, on the top
team.
step of the podium.
A well-deserved win.
And he takes the trophy. Yes, well done, Nando. Well done indeed. The legend has returned completely, everyone. Yes, he's finally got there on the top step of the podium as he tries to pour that champagne all over Sebastian Vettel. Fantastic. Fantastic indeed. So let's go to the final scores on the doors then and see where that win has put Sebastian Vettel. Well, it's put Sebastian Vettel in 4th place and Fernando Alonso into 6th position with now 127 World Championship points. Lewis Hamilton, of course, still way out in front with 334, and in the constructors he's in 6th place with 100 points. Fantastic. Well, as once again we answer the questions that are being pursued to us from Claire, I just like to say thanks so much for watching. You've been awesome as always, and as always, of course, there will of course be more later.